Now, it's difficult to tell where markets are heading next, but deal-making is certainly on the rise. My next guest runs the hedge fund Lutetia that profits from merger acquisition activity. They've successfully spotted at least 3 big M&A deals in the past 2 months, 3PAR, McAfee, as well as Potash. Here to tell us what companies could be snapped up in the future, we have Jean-Francois Comte. He is the lead portfolio manager for Lutetia. Good to have you with us, Jean-Francois.
Thank you. Good
Bonjour.
to be here. Bonjour.
So if you can look into the future, what areas of the global economy are we going to see this increased activity in mergers and acquisitions?
Well, we think we're going to keep seeing more volume in the sectors where we already have seen a lot of announcements in the past few months, the last couple of quarters, like healthcare, tech, energy, and some sectors in the consumer area.
Now, as part of the strategy for the Lutetia Fund, you not only look for deals that have already been announced, in other words, play the gap between the price that someone's willing to pay and the current price, but also you look for companies that might actually be takeover targets, and maybe we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen.
That's correct. You know, sometimes you do have facts, so it's not yet a merger arb situation, but it's sort of in between pre-announcement and merger arb, and sometimes you actually don't have facts at all, and you're just trying to identify possible targets.
Now, is one of the attractive qualities of the Lutetia Fund that it is not correlated to the ups and downs of the overall stock market? So whatever goes on in the fund is specific to what you and your other managers, your colleagues, are actually identifying.
Well, we definitely think so, but, you know, being equity market neutral is a choice of not being correlated to the market. So we think it's been great for us actually in this, you know, up and down cycles of the markets, but it's really a matter of allocation and choice. Now, as far as the event book is concerned, we're just basically shorting the market to not be exposed to the market because we just want, you know, the performance from an M&A event.
Now, one of the things that seems to mark this round of mergers and acquisitions is great deal of activity in the Asia-Pacific region. Are you also participating there, or you spend most of it focused on Europe and the United States?
We only invest in North American and European equities. That being said, we do see actually buyers coming from emerging markets now, especially from China, and then we could be part of that because we would just you know, buy the equity of the target being in North America or Europe with foreign buyers outside of these areas.
Now, when you look at the types of companies that you might be involved with, are you seeing any kind of trend in terms of the size of deals? Has that also increased?
You know, actually the size really, for that matter, doesn't really matter that much. What matters is, it depends on the sectors. Obviously, if you look at, you know, the big pharma, you know, they would probably look at bigger deals, things that, you know, would probably you know, be significant to their earnings and to their pipeline replacement with the patent cliffs. We all know about that. In some sectors, you know, you could see more smaller deals, more strategic. You mentioned 3PAR. I mean, you know, there's other situations like that. You know, even smaller companies in the same space, Compellant, for example. And this is not so big, but could be interesting for a bunch of potential buyers in the sector.
Now, you have a lot of experience in the world of mergers and acquisitions. You were at Lazard. You were the vice president there for M&A. You worked on a lot of transactions. How important is it to have that hands-on experience when understanding the world of M&A? I mean, it's not something for everybody to just do without a lot of background.
Well, we would think actually it's critical because, you know, having a qualitative approach and being able to go into the details, you know, both on the merger arb side and, you know, on the pre-announcement strategies, really gives you an edge, I would say. If you just have a market experience, that would be difficult to do, going into the details of contracts, of a merger agreement, and seeing maybe, you know, the potential legal issues that you would have. Obviously, if you have negotiated tons of those contracts in the past, you know, that would definitely help.
And it gives you that little bit of insight that allows you to understand the thinking of all the parties involved in these deals.
Definitely, that would be one more aspect, but exactly knowing the culture of, you know, people, you know, on Wall Street or in Europe, you know, advisors, you know, on sell side, buy side, knowing, you know, private equity shops and knowing how they behave, how aggressive they can be, or what they're looking for is clearly added value.
All right, I want to thank you very much, Jean-Francois Comte from Lutetia, sharing your insight into mergers and acquisitions and your fund. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.